When I was young, I read the book. I didn't really read the other Roald Dahl books. The rest were quite boring. James and the Giant Peach and all that. But I read Charlie and Chocolate Factory, I think it's got to be about 20 times. I love the whole narrative. And I don't know, it just inspired me. My dad always he was working in an MNC, he was an MD of Honeywell, but he always had side businesses. I was the auditor for 9 months, realized that it wasn't for me, too structured, too boring. Then I went to real estate and real estate finance, and I learned a lot of conceptual thinking, how to think about businesses and things like that. After I think about 5-6 years of that, my dad decided to invest in my uncle's business, which is a chocolate manufacturing company based out of Malaysia. Then he came to me and he said, "Hey, come join me and then grow the business, bring it regional." And my uncle's business is one of those OEM, white labeling kind of businesses, and in the heyday, they used to OEM for Das, chocolate, these Japanese brands, Morinaga. But within all that, I realized that actually it was, there's this whole side that no one talks about, which is artisanal chocolate, and I realized that this whole path for artisanal coffee, and there wasn't much in Asia for chocolate, for artisanal chocolate. I was on a trip to China, and there was this conversation with a buyer in China, and we wanted to bring the Malaysian and Singaporean made chocolates into China. And this purchaser he told us, Asian chocolate is this price, European chocolate is this price, and no matter what you do, even the chocolate tastes the same, it doesn't matter. The moment you're made in Europe, made in London, whatever, the price is totally different. It stirs something in me, and I realized there's this really big perception gap. Let me try to make Asian chocolate, right? So I went to the farms, got the beans, I experimented, and made chocolate, and realized, hey, wow, this is actually nicer than whatever my uncle was making. Don't tell me. But the truth is, it was a eureka moment, that experience I had with artisanal coffee, that first experience where I could, all these tasting notes, you drink wine, you have all these cherry notes, fruity notes. That same experience with coffee I had with chocolate. I was actually going to leave the family company, and then COVID hit. And I was like, no supply from Malaysia. What can I do to feed the team that I had there? I said, okay, I just join in, I just try doing something, right? No supply of chocolate, we make the chocolate in Singapore. So I hired one chef, one creative marketer, and we started from scratch. That chef happened to work a couple of years at Odette. So she knew how to do chocolate bonbon. So happened, our creative marketer had a connection at Golden Duck, salted egg chips, fish skin. So they collaborated with us. We took their salted egg yolk and we put it into our chocolate, and we made salted egg yolk chocolate bonbons. We launched it on 2nd April 2020. And we're like, okay, so positive, we could have all these retail points and we could do online. 5 days later, government announced circuit breaker. We thought we died. We really thought we were like, that's it. But opposite happened, because we were on online Shopify e-commerce, and it just skyrocketed. And we just did well, and then we just went on this path of local collaborations, and there's this whole wave of support local, like, hey, buy from local brands. So we caught that wave. All the traditional brands who had brick and mortar and e-commerce were going down, but we were going up. So that was the first. That was in Sydney, Chocolaterie, our first chef. 600 square feet, but we made bonbons out of there, and it was nice. We had queues almost, the weeks leading up to Christmas, always queues. Kind of coincidentally, one of the people queuing. There's this lady called Ranita. Ranita, who's from STD, I stood there and we spoke for like 2 hours, and I was telling her this whole vision I had of a chocolate factory. And I wanted to do the same for chocolate, and make experiences, do workshops, educate people, and which is why everything, even from day one, everything we do is transparent. I guess you can see through, right? You can see how we do things. Then she linked me up to Singapore Land Authority, our landlord, and then we selected this. Our vision is to change the perception of Asian chocolate and position it as amongst the best in the world. Where one day our hope is to be the Michelle Yeoh of chocolate, right? To be up there. Having a chance to go to Changi Airport is a dream. To be honest, a dream that we didn't expect to come so soon. We didn't expect it to come last year, 2 years ago now, 2024. We thought it would come like around now. This is one of the most pivotal milestones for us because travel retail is evergreen, and you get a constant. Yeah, you don't always need to eat chocolate on a day-to-day. When you go overseas, you mostly always have to buy a gift, be it you're a tourist or local visiting someone, unless you're on holiday. But so this was amazing and kind of sparked our journey into travel retail as a segment of the business. We didn't even talk to Raffles Hotel. They came to us. They emailed us. And they basically wanted to curate an experience for their guests. And this was actually during singing days. The funny thing is that when we were singing, so many brands approach us, like they see our website, wow, very nice, doctors are very pretty. They approach us and they say, oh, you're located in Sydney, I want. Can you imagine the two brands that worked with us, right, were best in class and they didn't care about these things. One of the brands was Hermes. One of the Christmases, they bought like 1,000 boxes of chocolates and they gave it out. The other business that worked with us, establishment with us, was Raffles Hotel. Which hotel would do that? And for all those who work in hospitality, you know that hotels don't do this. They actually want their brand and everything. They would work with a local partner, and we're just extremely blessed to be involved with this. Yeah. But I think the next phase for us is really building ourselves as a brand. So how that takes place through marketing activations, campaigns, through partnerships. I think those are all the things that we're looking to do, and a lot of housekeeping. We just did a whole rebrand, changed the logo to close the gap between customer perception and who we are.